Hello everyone, this is RadTechShoe and I have some Overwatch gameplay for you, but I'm not going to be talking about Overwatch or anything positive or anything. This is going to be very dark in terms of like the atmosphere and the tone, because this is really a saddening thing. This is a saddening point in my life. I'm at a loss for words as to how things have gotten so bad in this country, to the point where these riots are starting to become normalized, and that people think that the violent behavior that's being demonstrated as of late is acceptable and justified. Look, I understand that some people feel that they're doing the right thing, and it's one thing to feel that way, but I'm just going to come out and say it. Self-empowered feelings, or self-justified feelings of righteousness, are very dangerous when you use them to condone your own violent actions against other people, against your own fellow humans, against your own Americans, against your brothers and sisters. These are people you went to school with. These are people you were born and raised with. I understand there are some nasty, rude people out there. They're assholes. But god damn it, man. I'm just really sick and tired of people condoning violence and condoning violent behavior and saying that because I don't like your political views, I don't like your opinions that you have of other people, and because of that and that alone, I am justified in being violent, either towards you or just being violent in general and starting a riot. The UC Berkeley incident is fucking disgusting. I am so pissed off at this. How the fuck can we condone this? How the fuck can anyone look at this, at a riot like this, of this magnitude, and say that this is acceptable because a speaker at a school in Milo Yiannopoulos, who I myself have disagreed with on several things in the past, I know he's not an extremely likable guy. I understand he likes to think of himself as, oh, I'm so cute and adorable and I'm so endearing. But the guy is a homosexual and a Jew at birth. He is born, I believe, a born Jew. I don't think he is a practicing Jew. I don't think he engages in the religious practice, but he was born Jew and he's gay, and he's being labeled a Nazi. And I'm just like, the fuck? What is going on? Why are people behaving in this violent manner? This is not acceptable. You can hate someone all you want, but you are not allowed to act on that. You are not allowed to act in a violent manner because you have feelings towards someone. You're not allowed to. You are just not allowed to. And that's really upsetting and disheartening to see how some people think that because I hate you so much, because I hate your opinion, I disagree with your opinion, I disapprove of you so much, therefore it's okay for me to assault you. No, it is not. It is not okay for you to assault people because you don't like their opinion. We can't live. A democratic society, a liberal and free society that engages in behavior like that, that is one of the worst things imaginable for that society, for any democratic society, for any liberal free society, to engage in violent riots and violent behavior just because, oh, they have opinions I don't agree with or I think is disgusting. And let me just come out and say, I am not justifying people's violent behavior. I do justify their feelings towards supposed hatred. Like, for instance, if you hate white supremacists, let's talk about Richard Spencer, for instance. He's also another prime example that happened recently. On Trump's inauguration, Richard Spencer, this supposed white supremacist, has, from what I've read on online articles, he's entertained the idea that there should be like some type of racial ethnic cleansing, it'd be okay to commit acts of genocide. Like, genocide should at the very least be ideologically entertained, and that's a disgusting idea. Let's just go ahead and suppose that he is a white supremacist. Let's suppose that. Let's give that idea that he is indeed a white supremacist, that he feels that way, that he feels that white people are superior, just on the basis that they're white. That's a disgusting idea, and I totally disagree with it. I think it is a vile, disgusting idea. But he has not acted on it. And that is very important to understand. You can have some of the most morally disgusting and disrupting ideas imaginable. But that does not give you justification to attack them. If they have not done anything, if they have not attacked or physically assaulted anyone, then you do not get to physically assault them. You get to use violence as in a form of self-defense. If someone attacks you, then you get to use violence to defend yourself. But if all they've done is expressed an opinion, albeit a disgusting opinion, a nasty, vile opinion that is really atrocious, you don't get to assault them for that. You don't get to assault people just because they hold a political or a moral opinion that you do not agree with. You do not get to do that. I am sorry, but that is just unacceptable. You do not get to do that. And I'm really, really disgusted with how some people are behaving and thinking that it's okay to attack people and treat them like that just on the basis of, oh, you're a Nazi. I'm going to call you a Nazi because I don't agree with your political opinions. And now because you're a Nazi, because I've labeled you a Nazi, now I am justified in attacking you. No. No, you are not. I don't give a shit if you call anyone a Nazi. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they say Hitler did nothing wrong. I don't give a shit. You do not get to attack people like that. You do not get to attack people just because you don't agree with what they have to say. I'm just thoroughly pissed off at all this. I just cannot believe that we are at this point in our country where people are just really are engaging in this type of action and this type of negative behavior. It's really disgusting to see just the state our country has gotten in. I cannot begin to imagine just how disgusting this is, or how disgusting this can get. Because here's the thing, here's what scares me. This is violent behavior that is becoming normalized. If this becomes normalized, then this will be a repeating pattern, and I don't want that. I do not want riots and violence in the streets or on college campuses. I don't want that. Because what you are doing is now you are justifying them in their position of saying, hey, look at how violent they are becoming against us. We need to be able to defend ourselves. We need to be able to fight back. And if that is indeed the case, then then you're going to have people on the right, these people that you call Nazis, they're going to be empowered, and then they're going to look at you and be like, okay, now I'm going to attack you because you feel the need to attack us. You're pretty much just adding fuel to their fire when you do this, when you conduct this type of behavior and condone violence that is unprovoked. Because it's unprovoked. It is unprovoked violence. You do not get to attack people just because they have different political opinions than you. I don't know how many times I can say that and not freak the fuck out. I'm just thoroughly pissed off at all of this. I just cannot begin to imagine. I just can't. I'm so pissed off. Because what this is doing is this is going to lead to a violent attitude for everyone. There are going to be people on the left, political left, who are now going to engage in more violent behavior all the time because they think it's justified. And now people on the far right, the extremist far right groups, they're going to be like, well, look at this. Our position is clearly right because they feel the need to use violence because they can't counteract our arguments with a better argument. Therefore, our position has to be the right one. And now they're going to be enabled because now they think that they're always going to be under attack and that they're going to literally just... I cannot believe this. I'm just so at a loss for words for how some people can behave this way and think that it is justified. It's not justified. It is not justified to attack people just simply because you hold a different political opinion. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you think that their opinion is complete trash. I don't care if you truly do believe that they are a nasty, disgusting, and despicable person. You don't get to attack them, and your violence is not justified. Violence in self-defense is justified under the law. But calling someone a Nazi and then saying it's okay to attack a Nazi, that's just saying that you can label anyone a Nazi and therefore any action you do is justified. And no, we cannot let that be a precedent. We cannot let that become the standard. We can't let that become the norm. That is just too dangerous. And I don't want to see action being taken against my fellow Americans as well. It's bad enough seeing these riots. But if these riots don't stop, eventually more other action is going to be taken against them. People against them, the people on the right, the people that are being labeled Nazis for having a different opinion, they might mobilize and they might actually become more violent. And what that means is now you can have people that are just going, that people, that both sides are warring with each other, and then the government will eventually step in, and then the military might be brought in, National Guards and reservists, or even active duty. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a military force being used against my brothers and sisters. I don't want that. I don't want my fellow Americans engaged in war. I just don't want to see that. I don't ever want to see this country devolve into a state of anarchy, but these far left anarchists and these anarcho-communists are the ones that are rioting, causing all these problems in the streets, and they're the ones that are making everything much harder than it needs to be. And they're the ones that need to be brought in line. And I don't want this to be this way. But if you engage in violence, you don't be surprised if your violence is met with other violence. Because you're the ones who are setting the standard. You're the ones that are setting this precedent and saying that violence is acceptable, and you're going to justify violence being used against you. Alright? People think that words have consequences. As authoritarian as that sounds, they think words have consequences. Well, I got news for you guys on the left who are rioting. Your actions will even produce even greater consequences. So don't be surprised when force is used against you, because you are the ones who are always using force.